you come and help join me on Livestream? They said, no, I don't want to. So anyway, we're stuck with Jason Dietrich. Would you give him a round of applause? Shrekky! G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, buddy. Now listen, what we're going to talk about today is an absolutely brilliant product. And Shrekky, we came across this at SHOT Show earlier this year with COVID and everything going on. But we saw this stuff. It was awesome.
It was great product.
And the name of the product is Spartan Precision Equipment. Now, these guys do all sorts of things. They do bipods, they do tripods, mounts, clamps, rifle adapters, all sorts of things. And NIOA has just been made exclusive Australian distributor, I believe.
Yeah,
all right.
As of last week, we made the announcement.
Yeah, so look, Spartan, just to give you a little bit of an overview, Spartan Precision Equipment, they're just proudly a British company, all right? That's proudly British, and they're based in, I think, the southeast of the UK. And look, the people are awesome. In fact, our special guest that we've got here today, you're going to love him. And they've got this patented magnetic system with their bipods and tripods. But listen, look, without any further ado, all right, could we welcome, please, to the NIOA Livestream for the first time ever, directly imported from the UK at great expense. We spared no expense with this. First class, although actually no, we made him fly coach. But
we could only afford
coach. Would you please welcome Rob Gearing, Mr. G?
Delighted to be here,
G'day,
guys.
mate. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Great to see you, mate.
Let me get on the way. You hop in the middle.
Thank you.
You're the star of the show today.
I like being the star.
But listen,
I don't regret that later.
But listen, if any of you guys have heard, I'm sure some of you out there will have heard of Mr. G. If you follow his socials, especially on Instagram, if you check out his Instagram tag, which is, I think, Spartan_MRG, Mr. G.
The Queen put me on my own little gram because I was too offensive for most people out there.
So yeah, she didn't want him associated with it. But anyway, he does a lot of stuff. But mate, you have just come back from New Zealand.
I have.
What have you been up to?
I've been hunting with the NZ Hunter lads.
Yep.
Greg and Willie had an epic time. They really gave me a good smashing in the hills.
Yep.
I felt pretty broken at the end of the days.
Yep.
Those guys are super fit.
Yep.
Had a wonderful time. Didn't shoot tar, but we had plenty of opportunities. But I tell you what, all credit to them. We wanted to pick the right animal.
Yep.
And it didn't detract from the fun and frolics we had. I can tell you.
Well, I have one comment to make. It's a general observation. You are very much built for the New Zealand hills.
I try.
I'm built for the Australian lowlands.
Well, there you go. There you go. And this kind of product works for both.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I'll tell you what you're built for, mate.
Yeah.
The smoko shop down there.
Oh, mate.
Now listen, Mr. G, Rob, mate, this is some good gear. This is some really good gear, and I thought this would be a great opportunity since you're over here in the country to make the most of it and just to introduce our viewers. Are we starting to get a few people online, Digital Emily? Have you worked it out? We are.
Look at
All
that.
right.
Yes.
Oh, right. They're coming in thick and fast. That's excellent. Now listen, just remember, guys, this is your show. All right. So you get to ask the questions, and we've actually got the industry expert here to help us. So whatever the questions are, you ask them. If they're personal questions, I don't know. He might be able to answer them as well. All right. So if you've got problems with your relationships, just let it go. We'll try and solve it for you. But in the interim, we're going to talk about some of these awesome Spartan Precision bipods and tripods. And Mr. G, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, good start. So can I pick some of this up and just show you?
Why wouldn't you?
So I am from a climbing background.
Yep.
First and foremost, that was my big passion as a younger person when my knees and hips and everything still work really well. Mm-hmm. I'm still fighting to keep them going. And weight and speed and durability are all about climbing because you've got to carry everything in and carry everything out. And I used to also take a lot of people hunting. Mm-hmm. And I got fed up with having stuff stuck on the rifle that would dig in the shoulder, get in the way, that I used a fraction of the time.
Yep.
Because you guys out there know it. I mean, how often do you use a bipod? Very, very infrequently, but when you need it, you absolutely need it.
So true. So
true. I wanted to keep the real estate empty, void. So the whole thing was, I was also in aviation, so I used my aviation background, is to be able to pop that on that quickly to provide a platform, to my mind, is a real key advantage. And I can pop that bipod in quicker than you can drop 2 legs on a conventional bipod.
We've tried it.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is this is a hunting tool, first and foremost. And by that I mean when a bipod's in place, you're often fairly limited to what you can do with it. You have to move the whole rifle around. And then if the ground's not doing what you want it to do underneath,
Yeah.
extreme angles, I can straighten that bipod up. It's a game changer for actually getting dead things dead.
Yeah.
The other thing I can do is I can track a live target. So even like that, I can move around.
Yep.
So a couple of real key advantages. Because it's a cylindrical magnet, I can actually lock it in back, and now I've got a rigid platform. So I've still got my cant,
Yep.
but now I haven't got my rotation.
Yep, yep.
So over 200 metres, you've got enough flex in the system for most things, for like that. So I thought, well, that's the bipod sorted.
Yeah.
Right? Now there's a whole host of bipods that we make. These are the sort of Javelin lights.
Well, mate, can you take us through? Okay. Entry level.
Yeah.
All right. I want to start.
Yeah.
What do I get?
So if you want a Javelin light, everything, by the way, comes with all of the bits that you need. So whether you buy a Javelin light, Pro Hunt tack or whatever, they come with the adapter, they come with the screws, they come with everything you need to install it on one rifle. You can come back to these boys and buy more adapters because remember, you only need one bipod. But the entry-level bipod is the Javelin light. It comes with a 1-part leg. There's 3 different sizes. This is the long, this is the standard, and then there's a little short stumpy one.
I think the little minis there,
Yeah.
actually.
Yep.
Really aimed at the air gun guys with the tanks underneath
Oh,
and
yeah.
such like.
Yep.
So if you're doing bench press, that's probably all you need. The nice thing about these is you can come and get, you can upgrade the legs later.
Yep.
So you can buy leg
That
kits.
feature is,
Yeah.
you're
So
talking
you're not,
about game changer. That's a game changing feature.
we call it Lego. It's
Yeah.
Lego for the shooter,
Right.
right? So basically, you buy into the system, and then you can upgrade, you can migrate, you can. We don't make tripods and bipods. We make shooting systems that you build to your application. You can even run a long pro leg on these bipods, so I can do standing shots with it or seated shots. So if you're predator control or whatever, and you want to sit in the woods or sit in the field,
Fox shooting.
you just run some longer legs in it.
Yep.
So it's a very versatile little tool. And how much do they weigh?
Nothing.
You know,
So-
why wouldn't you?
Mate, I could eat me Chinese with that.
You can.
Chopsticks,
There's all
mate.
sorts of things I've been
They
doing with
weigh
these
nothing.
bipods, but we won't go into
I
that.
tell you what, I remember seeing an article, I think it was a UK article, and in that article they told me that they'd seen a guy on YouTube talking about another magazine that had an article about a Facebook post, that in that Facebook post it talked about an Instagram guy that was on there, and they said that these were very good.
Ah, yeah.
Get off! Get off! Get off!
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we don't get.
I mean, it was amazing.
You don't get many. I mean, people love the product. We get complaints if we can't ship them anywhere. That's
Yeah.
why we got you guys.
Hey,
You're there now.
We're here for
so,
you.
yeah.
Yep.
Don't come and speak to us. Speak to these guys. So, it's very much a tactile product. You've got to pick it up and feel it, and you see the smiles on people's face. I've got it now.
Yep.
But you don't sell them on the website. You
Yeah.
need good bricks and mortar stores. I'd encourage people to go and check
Oh,
them out
yeah.
at their stores. One other thing I'd say is these are tacky rubber boots, which work pretty well in most conditions, but underneath you've got a tungsten carbide tip.
Yep.
These are replaceable, so if they crap out after a time or you wear them out, because even our trekking poles use the same feet.
Yeah.
Every
Wow,
bipod product
that's so simple.
shares
isn't
the
it?
same
Look,
foot.
That's
Yeah.
so simple.
Exactly. So, very modular,
Yep.
very adaptable. You build it to how you need it.
So, mate, we have had one question come in. Barry Wooten. Welcome, Barry. Thanks for joining us. He's asking, do the bipods allow you to preload them whilst shooting?
So, I've got quite a strong opinion on this. Yes, they are. But I say you take the slack out of the system rather than putting a huge amount of preload, because it can actually push the rifle out of true. And that's often a problem with bipods. But you're taking the slack out of the system. So yeah, you can load them, but I tend to just take up all the slack and make the shot like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We do bipods that you can military ones and such like, but I think for a hunting tool, yeah.
My opinion on that, to jump in with Mr. G on that, Barry, I think preload is something you need to train for.
Yeah.
I think people have this YouTube, a lot of people have YouTube mindset on preloading. So what I tend to find is when it comes to preloading any bipod, if you haven't done it several times beforehand and put some effort in on some range, the amount of slack that would be in this system compared to the amount of induced inaccuracy that you will put in by preloading is something that you should look at.
Well, backing up what you just said, the NZ Hunter lads said we really like the system because it doesn't put the shot off of true. If we zero the rifle without the bipod and then have the bipod, our point of impact doesn't change.
That's where I'm
Now,
going,
if you preload, if you do it with other bipods, not every bipod, but they can push you off, which is crucial
Yes.
if you're shooting long distance.
Agreed.
The other thing I'd back it up on is if you don't drive around in a car without suspension, do you? Now, you think about how a fishing rod behaves, right? Having carbon fibre legs. Happy accident, I'm not going to take the credit for it, but if you slow-mo video shooting off these, the way the shot reaction, the recoil management transfers through carbon as opposed to metal, there's a seismic difference.
And you know what we can do? Because we're now the sole distributor of these Spartan tripods, is we've got the super slow-mo high-speed camera.
We do.
We are going to be able to show you that. So we
Watch
can do
out for
that
a
at some point.
future NIOA
I
TV
think so.
episode
I think
on that.
so. This will be good. Mate, Munchan Edmond Chiong is asking, Arca Swiss option? Question mark.
Yeah, we've got an Arca Swiss option, we've got M-Lock, we've got Keymod, Picatinny, you name it, we've got it. So these lads might not have it just yet, but you'll certainly be getting it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a very interesting question because why would you? Right, the Arca Swiss was developed for a camera system, and we've done it with the military lads as well, and they want an system. So we've got a system that will marry to the Arca Swiss, but you've got the added advantage that I can do that with it.
Yeah.
So it's much quicker to use. And we also, you can put 2 adapters in, so if you want something back here. But yeah, we've done it.
Mr. G, there's a great question here from Matt White. How does the system actually attach to the stock?
Great.
We haven't got that far yet, and I think that's a
Yeah.
great way
We're
to
getting
start.
there. We're getting there.
You've got to manage me, boy. It's a great question, Matt.
excellent
That's for
question.
you.
It's one I frequently forget to explain. So in the kit, it comes with a classic adapter and 3 polymer gaskets, different profiles on the gasket. So you fit the best gasket to fit the profile on the stock. So you might not see it there, but there's a little gasket
Yeah, I
sitting
can
under,
see that.
married under
Yep.
there.
Yep.
All you do is remove the sling swivel stud.
Just with like an Allen key or something
Yeah,
like that?
exactly. Just pop it in, spin her out. There's 6 screws in the kit, so we cover most events. There will be the odd one that might be not some really tiny short ones. We have answers, and we can get you some of those as well.
yep.
Sure.
But look, 99% of the stock's out there.
Nail
We've got-
gun is not the preferred method.
Yeah, we've got it tagged. You put the adapter on, you fit the right gasket, screw it in, and good to go. The sling swivel stud is actually built into the
Yeah, I
adapter.
can see that. I can see that.
So if you are a sling carrying, you can still use it. You can put it that way, or you can have it this way. It's entirely up to you whether you mount it that way or mount it that way. We suggest that way, but actually, I tend to put it that way as well, because if I'm carrying it barrel up, there's less chance that adapter's going to orbit.
Yep.
There's also a host of other adapters. There's a gunsmith adapter that you guys are going to be offering.
I think we got
Yeah, there you
an
go.
adapter over there. Look at that.
I love these because I tend to
them in. Flush,
drop one
so
in there,
flush.
one in there, and it's flush, file and forget.
Yeah,
They're
that's-
going nowhere.
that's fantastic.
So you would then even lose this bit. You have to keep the sling swivel stud, mind you. But
So that if I'm a guy, I've just gone to my local dealer. I'm
Sorry, you are a guy.
Oh, sure, thank you. I just
last time we checked,
Debatable.
I've been to my local gun
Yeah.
shop. I've bought one of your systems.
Yeah.
How long would it take me if I had a standard basic rifle like we have here that already has a sling swivel stud on it? A minute, 5 minutes, 8 minutes?
if you take more than 2 minutes, you probably need to go and get some help.
Right.
Right, it's that easy.
Matt,
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question, Matt.
I would probably take more than 2
Yeah.
minutes. but I'm not the most.
It takes you longer to ring somebody.
It's stupid simple. It
Right.
has to be, because I've got a stupid simple head.
Okay.
Right, and I have to keep things simple.
Well,
so-
I think that's really
Yeah.
explained that.
All right, and listen,
really well.
Digital Emily is putting up some links on our feed that you can actually click into and have a look on the NIOA website. We've got all the Spartan range currently up there. Just a reminder to you all that as we are now the exclusive distributor, go and see your local gun shop, because guess what? They have access to all this stuff. As you know, we don't sell direct to public, but any of your local dealers will be able to get you this. So put the heat on them, ask them to get them in and see this sort of stuff in action, because there is so much more. I mean, we've only just touched on the surface here today, so keep asking the questions, because Shrekky, I'm not 100% sure, but I actually think, well, you know how bad the prizes have been on NIOA TV.
Yes.
They haven't been great, all right? You know what I'm talking about.
Lies.
Okay.
Lies. It's
Okay.
lies.
You are lucky if you get a cap, all right, and a hot products catalogue.
They're
right?
very good caps.
Okay, so
very good cap.
now listen. This week, or this month, I should say, you're not going to win a block of flats in Tasmania, but Shrekky, you do have a great prize.
Mate,
What's the prize?
The prize is, I did a little bit of work with the Queen,
Yeah.
and she and yourself and Spartan have donated a Pro Hunt
Look out.
bipod.
Look out.
Now, this thing retails for more than a NIOA Hot Products catalogue, let me tell you.
I can tell you what.
Because NIOA Hot Products catalogue are free, just so you know.
Yeah.
But this is a great product. Mr. G's going to walk us through the rest of this range here in a minute.
Yeah.
But this is quite an expensive bipod. Please ask your questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick someone out,
Yeah.
and we'll give that away a little bit later in the show.
Yep, so the only way that you're in the chance to win one of these is if you ask some questions. So get online, get your mates online. Let's see this happen. We're going to get Mr. G to take us through the rest of the range. What's next, sir?
So we've gone from Javelin Light.
We've gone
Yeah.
from the Javelin Light, right? The next step up is the Javelin Pro Hunt. Now, the only difference between these is these have an extendable leg,
Right.
right?
Nice.
Quick adjust, easy adjust. They're different sizes. This is the long, the standard. But the big change on this, it's got a locking gate on the back. So when those two legs are out, they're physically locked in place.
Gotcha.
Right, and you can close it off with one thumb, shut
you
it
go.
away, and away you go. Again, you can take these legs out, you can put the single legs in, or you can put the Pro Hunt. The whole thing
Is
marries
modular.
together. But fundamentally, that's the only difference.
So, mate, with your background in aviation, obviously the quality in terms of the build and stuff, that just take me through the
Right.
mindset of the quality of the actual, carbon fibre.
So at the delicate age of 58,
Yeah.
right, you've got limited horizons. Ken will know these things.
I wish I was.
he's still alive. Yeah. Right. So for me, I want to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I'm not. Yeah, I want to build a great company, but I'm passionate about getting it right. So it's a bloody good question, actually. We use 7,000 grade alloy.
There you go.
Wow.
So every single component on this is machined.
Wow.
There isn't a cast. And actually, if we're sensible, we should start casting the little feet and things. And we probably will cast those because that's a replaceable item.
So that's a billet piece of square steel.
So you take a billet and you machine every part.
Wow.
Now, as I say, we should look at the feet and bits and pieces as the business grows. But I'm married to the idea of machined parts because guess what? You know what you're dealing with.
Sure.
They retain great strength. The carbon fibre, we blew up a lot of carbon fibre getting it right.
When you say blew up, it just couldn't handle the
We're
stress.
just we tried all sorts of. I'm not mentioning any names, but we tried French carbon, we tried English carbon. We found this carbon, and this stuff is absolutely
I
epic.
wouldn't have thought the French carbon would have been when it comes to carbon fibre, yeah, I don't know.
It was a great carbon. It was a great carbon, but it wasn't married to our particular application.
wasn't
And
that great.
I wanted a little bit of movement in there and flex
Yeah.
to recoil management, and we got a happy marriage with that.
Yeah.
And the thing about our carbon, be it on the tripods or the bipods, it's solid carbon.
Yeah.
Right? There's not solid, but there's no plastic liners in there.
Wow.
So we haven't mucked around. Tacky rubber boots, tungsten carbon fibre tips. It's stupidly simple, guys. And the thing is, one of those carried under my bino caddy or in a little pocket. If I've got 20 rifles, I just have 20 adapters on there.
Yeah, yeah. So, mate, we've got a few questions
Yeah,
coming
a few
through.
coming through there. That's great.
Which is great. But and I want to get this one just out the way, and not that we can talk pricing, because we don't set the pricing, the dealers do. Now, these are. I want people out there to understand these aren't just your run-of-the-mill bipods. These are actually a premium product, and I guess the pricing reflects the fact that they're just a premium product. So
Yeah.
if you want the good stuff, guess what? You got to pay for it.
We don't make excuse. I don't apologise about the price. I would encourage people to check our website out for reviews, but obviously go to your stores to buy it because we don't sell from our website.
Yeah.
But you'll see what customers think about the products,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of
Look,
glowing
the thing
reports.
is, if you've got a really high-class rifle system, you want it in the hunt, you know, it doesn't matter if it's your optic, your firearm, or the accessories that go with it. You want it to work.
Sure.
All right, and
Agreed.
you want it to work in extreme conditions. If you, with Mr. G, you're hiking up some snowy clad mountain in New Zealand with nothing but a singlet on and, you know, whatever, you still want your bipod to work.
Yeah, it's
right?
absolutely right. And the thing is, you've got to think about this as a system as well, guys, because once you've got that adapter in place, it's not just a bipod.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, we're fixing a host of other issues.
Yep.
For the shooter, and you spend a lot of time and money on getting great optics and a rifle.
Yeah.
We never worry about the soft squodgy stuff underneath,
Yeah.
namely us,
Yeah.
getting a stable platform.
Oh, so the sum what Matt set up, and you may agree with me. If you've ever been on a good hunt, an expensive hunt, the time of airplane flights, the time it takes, your equipment is the cheapest part of the hunt.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've flown to America, you've paid tag fees,
Yeah.
you've flown to New Zealand. Spending a few $100 on a good bit of gear that won't let you down in the field is the cheapest part of the hunt, in my opinion.
100% agree with that. And the other thing is, you want to enjoy that moment, right?
sure.
And I want to be able to get there's a lot of good shots out there, but I want to be able to know that I'm on that animal. I want to know that I'm comfortable taking the shot. You've invested, as you say, all that time, effort and energy getting there.
Yeah.
At least have a couple of legs on the ground that are going to work with you rather than fight you.
Mate, let me ask, because we've got the questions are coming in thick and fast. Now that they know that you could possibly win one of these, keep asking the questions, team. So, mate, do they handle the large caliber, like 338 recoil like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Look at the videos.
Yep,
yeah.
okay.
So from anything from the mini Javelin light right through to something like this for Hala, I'll take it.
No, all of the family are designed up to 338. Yeah,
Okay,
and they behave.
That's great.
Yeah.
What kind of warranty do we get?
So that's a good question. We give 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't regret saying it.
Look out.
Yeah. But
This could be an Australian exclusive.
we haven't broken a leg.
Yep.
Can you believe that? You guys are new to it, right? We sell in the US and such like. You could lose a magnet or something might happen, but
Yep.
they're pretty indestructible little tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's one thing that NIOA is renowned for across the country, and that's our backup service.
We'll look after you.
And we'll look after you. If you get one of these products, we'll personally speak to Mr. G. If you can,
Yeah.
you have an issue, call us here at NIOA or see your local gun shop that you bought it from, and we'll definitely look after you on this product.
I think that's why we're here, because we share that common ground, and I always say to our team, I don't have to say it because they got it, but I said, treat customers how you want to be treated.
Right.
Right? And as long as people are reasonable and say, look, guys, if I've got this issue, we're there to help.
Yeah.
We're not there to make your life any more challenging than it needs to be.
Yep, so look, they're asking questions. Do you guys sell a case or a pouch or something similar to suit that you can carry the product in?
That's a very good question. And I don't, because there's better companies than us that do it.
Sure.
And I want to. I'm not one of those companies that want to conquer the world. I want to do one thing well.
Mind you, though, I mean, this is
Oh,
what,
they
is what you're buying.
yeah, but the case.
I know
what
what
you're
you're
talking
talking
in the
about.
field.
But there's
yeah.
great.
Comes in a pretty good case.
There's great companies out there making good cases, and no doubt there's probably going to be an Australian company that makes good cases, or one of your companies might make a case for you guys. But I can certainly link people in.
I've been talking to our sales department about this
Yeah.
particular thing, and I believe they're well underway in trying to source some carry pouches for the field. So we'll watch this space. We'll come back with an announcement.
Two companies you could engage with. You know, there's FHF in America. They make a great little case. They'd probably work with you. And there's also Red Kettle, a Danish guy.
Right.
He makes a good case as well. But
No French?
no French.
French,
No, it fell apart when we tried to. Just fell out the bottom.
I've got a question for Mr. G.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to Matt if he was running up a hill, a snowy hill in New Zealand with only a singlet on?
Naked or not?
Where would he, when he said he only had a singlet on, what would you suggest he does with his bipod?
There's a simple application. Have you got an adapter in there, Matt?
No, we'll talk about adapters very soon. I mean,
It can be surgically implanted.
we get
I
some,
know it's all bases.
just make sure I'm knocked out. Really important.
We'll do one more
Yeah,
question.
we'll ask just a couple more. No Michael Cubis, you can't go into the draw to win. But we do have a couple of people, and we're going to talk about this. Do you have a monopod or trekking pole that we can connect?
I think
we'll
we'll
get
get
to
there.
that.
Yeah.
And then someone did ask a bit earlier about, is there any maintenance or anything that we've got to do?
That's a really good question. Wash it in a stream. right, there's nothing to rust or corrode on these things. And the whole thing is, I mean, last year I was in Tajikistan, I started in Tajikistan, even COVID, I managed to get out there, finished in Greenland. I spend a lot of life in the mountains, guys. So you're looking at one of the many testers we have. And these things just work, eh? It's not an anti-rotation carbon for the simple reason I can take those legs apart, wash them in a stream, put them back together, and they're fit for purpose. There really isn't any maintenance to worry about.
Yep.
They just work.
There's a great question here from Josh. Might have already been mentioned. Where are they manufactured?
So we use a factory in Shenzhen to machine, but it's an aviation grade factory. I was from aviation. We are going to get some products made. We're getting products made in the States as well. Probably won't ship those here because we used to make in the UK. We couldn't get the quality or the repeatability. Yeah. But the guys, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job.
There's many car manufacturers that are world renowned at making in all sorts of places across the world.
Ironically, Range Rover parts were there, Mercedes parts there, Honda parts. You know, if it's good enough for those. Yeah.
Well, Josh likes it, use and abuse. So that's it. Jim, I'm not even going to. Sorry, Jim, I'm not going to pronounce your last name because I will get that wrong. It says, can you cant and rotate the rifle with this bipod, and is the tension adjustable if it can?
Yeah. So just quick demo there. Right, rotation. So if I'm on a shot like that, cant's easy. Right. Now, I call this target mode. You lock it back that way, right? And now I can adjust the cant block and lock it down. So if I want
so that's a little traverse lever there that adjusts the tension.
And a good question, because some people don't get that, is that lever pulls and you can reposition it anywhere.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
Right. So don't think,
That's
it's not, well, it has to be that way, because otherwise you could end up with it like that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But it's an important little point. And then you've got that little locator spigot there,
Great.
which marries into...
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yep.
It limits the travel.
Yeah.
almost.
So you have 15 degrees of travel in both directions this way, and then no movement the other way.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, I hope that's answered your question there, Jim. Righto, well, we've got to better keep this thing moving because I knew as soon as we're going to have Mr. G on the show that we'll easily fill an hour. So let's keep this
I think
on
we're here,
track.
huh?
Yeah, we can talk. So basically, the only difference between the Pro Hunt and the Pro Hunt Tack, and it's a personal choice, guys, it's just the legs. Now, this is the standard leg length, which you can get those legs in the same length. But the difference is the way they function. So these are what we call a tack leg. There's a light spring in there, and you just press and release.
Nice.
You've got two grub screws at the top here, just like you would have on a lot of optics. So you can pitch these locks wherever you like. So you can put them behind, to the right, to the left,
that's a really
whatever
good
you want to
idea as
do. And then these little legs, these tack legs and those legs will all run into the tripod systems as well. So you can turn it into a mini tripod.
So a question on the standard length and the long leg length. Is the standard leg length the same across all
of them?
So what is that?
Yeah.
Do you know?
So, you're asking me. I don't know what they cost, what they weigh, or how long the legs are.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, mate.
No, it's true.
Jason, I told you not to
It
say
looks
that.
about 6 inches there.
So the standard one, I think, is 6 to 12. I think these are 9 to, I don't know, but yeah.
Check out the NIOA website for more details.
Look, Digital Emily's put the link up there. Listen, Michael James is asking, Mr. G, do you make any pod with enough length to use while shooting from a standing position?
Oh,
Holy
100%.
Hey?
You can, so,
Tell them about this.
This is where these guys come into their own, guys, because I haven't just got a bipod. I can screw that leg off, and we've got these pro legs, which you can do. You can even use seated or stand up. We've got haven't come in yet. They're pretty new to us, but you'll get them. But they are epic little tools. So it's basically a little leg, like an upside down tripod leg, and you twist them. So if I'm predator management over grass, well, I guess managing kangaroos or whatever, I can turn that into a very simple shooting.
There is some great YouTube footage of you using that product on your YouTube channel.
It's probably an imposter.
and don't forget, if you do want to see Mr. G in action, make sure you check out his Instagram page, which is Spartan underscore Mr. G, MRG. So Spartan underscore MRG.
If you want to see it properly done, go to the Spartan Precision Equipment Instagram.
Yeah.
Because that's actually much more grown up than I am.
Sure.
Yeah. If you want my political views on life, go to the Spartan. Yeah.
This is probably the next one to talk about. 'Cause
Oh,
you run us through
yeah.
this one.
So basically, as I say, athletes. If you're a long distance runner, right, you're not going to send a shot put. You and I are different frames.
We are.
We've all got
You'd be
different
surprised.
purposes.
Shrek has been a long time long distance.
Yeah. So nuts and bolts
To
of it
McDonald's.
are, these share the same legs as the tack.
Yep.
So again, Lego, they will unscrew, right? This was designed for a heavier, basically more of a tactical rifle system. What I like about these legs is
They
you can
are, yeah.
store them backwards
Yeah.
on a rifle. There is going to be a wide body Valhalla and a narrow.
As you can see.
So imagine, so they don't get caught in the way. There's a Picatinny rail M-lock key mod adapter. These will go. You see that hole underneath there. That will engage into our magnetic tripod
Yep,
or quad
yep,
system.
yep.
So you don't even have to take the bipod off.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a good lead into something that some people may have been
You
seeing.
might see this in the background here.
Oh, excuse me, Matthew. Mr. G.
So
I'm going to stick it in front of you, Mr.
yeah,
G.
you go for it.
There we go.
Now, people, I hope everyone can see that. Can we see that, team?
So this,
Yep.
what have we got on here? A Barrett.
We have a Barrett on here. We've got a Barrett MRAD on there. And
Great platform.
This one's a
so
Valhalla.
you've got the Valhalla on the front of this, right? Can come off and on that quick.
Wow.
Really easy. You've got a little lock-in lever down on the side, so that's all good. This, do you want me to talk about this tripod?
Let's do it.
Why wouldn't you talk about that
Well,
tripod?
so basically, this tripod, we make 3 tripods.
Yep.
So we did this for a military requirement for a sniper unit in Europe. I'm not going to mention any
Sure.
names. And basically, they wanted a tripod to fire 50 cal off.
Wow.
So the
Kevin.
test,
His name was Kevin, I think.
yeah, the test was 5,000 rounds without changing a component
5,000
5,000
of
with-
50 cal.
of 50
Wow.
cal, which they've just finished, and they said it's one. But now can we carry on? And so they're now up to They're up to 7,000 rounds. So this tool is very different. Can I take that rifle
you
off?
can do it. You
So
do what you
again,
want, mate.
if you've got these adapters on the rifles, you can do that. So I don't even need to remove the bipod. You feel how stable that is?
Now, that
Please note that all our guns are completely cleared. Thank
bolts
you.
up, clear gun. That is one of the most stablest pieces of equipment you
It's
can get in the field.
unbelievable, right? Because you're locked in, because people are used to using a rabbit head,
Yeah.
right, where the rifle can move forward and slip back. Then suddenly, because I've done that, I can run this on 2 legs. So I can turn it into a giant bipod.
Yep.
We can even, there's a cradle system, so you can have a support out the back and turn it into a mobile shooting bench.
Yeah, right.
All our tripods do that.
Okay.
Right? So you can run it on 5 legs, 4 legs,
Wow.
3 or 2. So you're not married, you're not stuck with a tripod.
So the Valhalla is the only one that has that spigot, I guess you'd call it, in the bottom of it to drop it onto a
Yeah,
one of these heads.
but basically, I can, if I give you that
Sure.
trick, I can run.
And see how easy that is to take off?
I mean, it's that quick,
Yeah.
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And this thing is stupidly strong. If I've locked up the legs and don't disappear,
Now you
Look
see,
at
no, no, hang on, I'll turn this way.
Yeah, I may not
literally,
have looked at.
I'm hanging there.
Look at that. Look at that.
I just,
Have you been walking that dog?
I think
around
that's
the
a fake
office?
pair of legs. That's a fake pair of legs.
get those plastic legs out of here. But it just shows we build stuff that we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, this is not something that the average hunter might do, but if you're doing the competition work, and
So
you
great
feel the
PRS
weight.
product. PRS
Yeah,
product.
feel the
yeah.
weight of that.
It's nothing.
I mean, it still feels like a toy, doesn't
No,
it?
it does. It really-
And again,
really
all
does.
of the legs unscrew,
Yeah.
so we can run little short legs on this. This, by the way, you haven't got yet, but you
No,
will,
but we
because
will.
we're just keeping up with the
So
military.
this is not on the NIOA website just yet.
But it's on its way.
Yeah.
But the most sexy thing about this,
Sexy.
oh, it's super sexy.
Sexy.
Yeah.
What?
Basically, the module just comes out.
Yeah.
So
hang
I
on,
can-
hang on. Stop the show.
Yeah.
Don't stop the show, Digital Josh. Just
Yeah.
keep it running.
So that module, right, is designed for shooting off. Now, people have grown up with Arca Swiss, just like
Absolutely.
they've grown up with camera systems and such like.
Yeah.
This is a tripod designed by shooters for shooters.
That-
So the SF units are really
Oh.
getting quite excited about
Yeah.
this because I've got 3 different modules that can go in there. So if I want to run a normal hog saddle or
Sure.
Arca, put the other module in. We can even put an Arca Swiss on top of this as well.
And
this
you're
is
saying the durability of this is 5,000
they
rounds or
fired
50 cal?
5,000 rounds, 50 cal off this, and they haven't smashed it yet, so they've carried on. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, guys, keep asking your questions because we are giving away a special prize. Keep those questions coming through. I just want to say too, just in terms of the strength and everything with this, I know Mr. G hung from this earlier, but I can assure you, when we did the photo for our little
Mr. G, I'm gonna
promo,
stick this
Yeah.
back
I
on.
actually got Shrekky to hang from it as well. Now,
That's there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stick
Full
that back in the
disclosure,
background.
the tripod's now in counselling, right? But
It's still there.
all right, but it's still there and it's still working, and Mr. G could hang from it.
But
so.
there's something important. I'm not, the stuff, as you said, is top end.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not necessarily in everybody's budget.
Sure.
And people out there might have a really good tripod already.
Yep.
Or they might use the Primus trigger stick, which is ubiquitous in the shooting world. And it's ubiquitous for the good reason.
Hang on. Jason.
Can you write that down?
Spell,
Can you write that down?
spell ubiquitous.
No idea. U-B-T-Q.
No, sorry, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going. We'll be all day.
The fact they sell so many of these, because they work. They're quick. The system is fantastic.
Oh, the trigger sticks are
Right.
great.
They are one of our biggest selling Primus products.
So anybody with a Primus trigger sticks will be used to that system.
Yep.
Right. So Primus, great company, great lads, and that's pretty good.
Yep.
But if you put our little Davros on the top,
Ready.
Now
So we
I
can
am-
buy the Davros head separately.
you
We
don't
have
to
those
buy
in
our
stock now.
tripod.
You don't have to
can
buy
buy
the
the Davros. And the thing is, this is such a versatile tool. You watch Doctor Who and the Daleks over here, don't you?
100%.
Right. So Davros, the little creature
Yeah.
with no legs.
Yeah. I know
Right,
what
in the
you're talking
Dalek.
about. Yeah.
I said, well, that's got no legs. We'll call it Davros. Yeah, so...
I
it's-
wondered where that came
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that-
lost on the
well,
Americans because they never watched Doctor Who, but everybody thinks it's a Greek thing, and I think, no, it's just my humour. But if you've got that little Davros unit here,
Oh.
I can do so much with this.
Yeah.
So we do a Mr. G clamp
Yep.
that will go in a high seat or tree stand. You just screw that straight onto... So that little product there will go on just about anything.
And that's just a standard camera.
Standard camera
standard
thread.
camera.
That comes with the trigger stick. Yeah.
Now, if you're on the back of a truck,
Headboard of a Hilux or a cruiser.
Yeah.
Pump it up.
you've got yourself a little machine gun
Yep.
wrist. And so that little tool, I love these things. We sell a huge number of them because you don't know what
have a look at that one?
Yeah.
Wow. So that suction cap is the most sturdiest suction cap I've seen, and uniquely, unlike a lot of other products that we sell with suction cap mounts for spotlights, actually has a pump up so you can pressurize the.
Oh,
This
we didn't get right. It's a bit like the carbon. We didn't get the first suction cups right.
French company?
We've got. We're not giving the French a good time here, are we? No. But honestly, these little things, they stick like shit to a blanket.
Yeah.
Excuse the
Yes.
language.
Yes.
Yeah. But they work. Once they're on, they're on.
Oh.
Just make sure your surface is free of dust. Give them a wash. So the guys, because I make a fishing rod holder as well. It's just.
Yeah, that'd be on the roof of your car quicker
Yeah.
than Shrekking on a cupcake.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. And then obviously once you've got the Davros on there, I'm not just mounting my rifle. We've got this
Oh,
little
yeah.
bino holder.
Yep.
So we can clip that on, and
So-
that's designed. That's super.
Can you show us locking
Yeah.
that down on the
So
button?
basically, it's just a little nylon belt clip.
David says the Daleks will be happy.
So there you go.
Dalek.
Yeah, that's what's
You
there.
said Dalek.
Same thing.
No, it's
So
not.
that is the system. And then you've got a little grub screw here. You can pinch it in, lock it on place. It's a get you out of trouble bino holder.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can adjust the belt so if you've got like a 30 or
Very
40.
universal,
Yeah,
very
it's
universal.
adaptable. Moving swiftly on.
Hang on,
I'll
grab-
yeah, the spotting scope.
We're in and we're out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll go and get it.
Yep. Sorry, team. I'm still here.
So the same thing you can do with your spotting scope. There's a little adapter that will go on that. That will
Wow.
run on a camera, shares the same thread.
I think we've got one here.
Yeah, so you can put something like that on, you can run your binoculars or your rifle. So again, it's a multi-faceted tool. You're not
Yeah.
just married to shooting.
The,
Mate.
the thing that you've said 10 times since we've been doing this, and the more you walk us through the products, the word is system.
Yeah.
System is the right word.
We've applied that sort of mindset to something that historically has either been a tripod or a bipod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all I've done from a climbing background is I want to run light ice axes, I want the lightest crampons, I don't want to be taking something that's made of canvas when there's better materials. There's nothing wrong with other bipods.
No.
You know, they've all got their place. It's just, we've just used the most modern materials, lightest materials, carbon fibre, made that system so it's not stuck on your rifle.
Wow.
Because I can move from a tripod to a bipod to a shooting stick.
So
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, now this is the other thing too that we want to talk about, because someone was talking about, you know, with the long legs, but an actual,
a trekking pole.
Trekking pole.
So-
take us through that.
So basically, we don't have it here, but we've got 3 systems.
Come on, show us.
So we've shown you the Hercules.
Yeah.
Right. Now this is the Sentinel. Right. The Sentinel is an out-and-out shooting system.
Yep.
Right. I would run this on 2 legs mostly. You've got it set up on 3 here. But basically, and I'll show you the reason why.
I think we can do
Yeah,
it with that.
exactly. So now in essence, I'm becoming the 3rd leg.
Yep.
So I've got my adapter on.
Wow.
The speed. So if I was going to Africa, I was doing game management. This is brutal because I'm there, I can be over there. I can shoot, I can move so quick. And that's just a giant bipod.
Yeah.
Right? But because I'm locked down and I'm not in a rabbit head, that rifle's not moving forwards or backwards, so it really ups your game.
You're right. There is, when you get on a certain angle on a rabbit head, depending on your stock texture, I find they can do a bit of skidding
Yeah,
and
but
jumping.
but even on the ground that you're on, you know, you could be shooting downhill.
They've got their place. If I need to shoot uphill, spin around.
Wow.
And because the angle's now changed, I'm like this. So it's very, very
Versatile.
user-friendly.
Yeah.
And once you've got used to it, now look, you can do that. You can put a rabbit head on.
Yeah.
But obviously, now I've got a conventional system, I can't load that, can I?
Yeah,
No.
that's
I've
right.
got to, it works, but the difference is huge. And I spend my life saying to people, just try it.
Yeah.
Because people say, I know what it's like to shoot off. I said, well, no, with respect, you don't, if you haven't tried our system. But that, if you've got a lot of kangaroos to knock over,
Yeah.
that's a game changer.
But not only with that, Mr.
So-
G,
Sorry.
you know, you've also got that extra leg, and take us through that, because as you know, you've done a fair bit of mountaineering in your time.
So-
What was the rationale? What was the thinking behind this?
If you're going to the mountains, right, you're going to Colorado or whatever, I'm carrying stuff, right, basically, I don't want to be carrying a tripod because it's just extra weight. So basically, we have handles. I don't know if we've got one here.
No, we don't have a handle here.
So there's little simple handles, you know, a trekking pole handle that screws on, and then I've got 2 trekking poles. And I build my tripod up. There's you're not going to use too many snowshoes.
Victorian high country,
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe.
So basically, you don't need it, but you can put that spike on. You can put a snow.
That's the carbide tungsten.
Yeah, it's still got the replaceable carbon tip.
Yeah.
Carbide tip.
Yep.
But if some of your lads were going over to New Zealand
Yep.
hunting tar,
Yeah.
then these things are huge.
Yeah.
So again, the NZ Hunter
They
TV
weigh
guys.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
They're unbelievable.
And the nice thing about our trekking pole legs is you unscrew them, right? There's nothing to fall out.
Yep.
You can wash them in a stream. They've got the same serviceability. That good question that guy said earlier.
By the way, he says Mr. G could sell sand to Dubai.
Yeah, but they just work.
Yeah.
They just work. So, again, I've even made a tent that uses the tripod.
Yeah.
Now that is too far. Just don't buy a tent. Honestly, because they're great tents, but you can't use a tripod while it's a frame for your tent.
No.
So if you're really driven about cutting your toothbrush in half, it is something worth considering. But I'm very honest about that, and I say pick the right tools.
Yeah.
And understand those tools.
I've got a question about these legs. Let's say I was in the bush and I've fallen over, jammed it between 2 sticks, and I've broken a leg.
Brilliant
How
question.
do I do about it?
So, other trekking poles, if you break an aluminium leg, you've just got a redundant trekking pole that you've got to carry out the mountains because it's broken, right? These, you just literally unscrew them.
What in?
Yeah, you think about that.
So it's like a
So
section.
if I snapped a leg, and you know, you can break legs, eh?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
two-
sure, yeah.
So I literally just pull the broken bit out, lock it back in, put it back. I've still got a functional trekking pole.
Wow.
So it's genuinely a field serviceable product.
Wow.
And,
That's awesome.
And if you're away for a week hunt in the mountains,
There's a chance you're going to break a leg.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All you need to do is go between two rocks and fall forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But the carbon is really, I mean, it's 1.5 mil thick, 1.5 mil thick. The lower leg is 2.5 mil.
and we can buy a section.
You can
from
buy
you,
sections.
from
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
and
exactly.
We can sell it to you guys.
Yeah.
Through our dealer network.
Yeah. So there's nothing that you can't, they're all modules. You could lose a leg. Well, we're good like that. Well, you
Yeah.
guys are good like that. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We picked the right partner.
That's right. That's why. Righto.
And what about a knife on the inside? It's a spear.
Jesus.
In case we have to charge.
Because I use the products myself, that is not a stupid question. I've made actually, and we don't sell them yet, but maybe we could. We made a little saw that goes on, so you can cut out for tree stands.
Oh, wow.
For clearing, you can also open up an animal with it. I've done an arrest axe. I will not sell that, by the way, because I don't want somebody climbing a bloody ice wall
Yeah.
and going, it's not designed for that. But there's a whole host of things. The problem is,
Shame I was looking at climbing an ice wall this afternoon. So anyway, that's okay.
It's normally my lounge room because my wife complains I have everything on 18 degrees. What is this? We haven't spoken about it.
Right, so we had a lot of people, it's a good question, they're coming out. We had a lot of people that said, well, I've got a perfectly good tripod. Right, now, the Davros we've explained.
Yep.
Right, that marries, but imagine you want your big fluid head. You've got your spotting scope.
Yep.
So you're glassing up or you're spotting animals and bits and pieces. That runs in an Arca Swiss, the standard camera.
Yep.
You can put that straight in an Arca Swiss.
Yeah.
Right, so you can run. Where's that stock gone?
Here it is.
Just there.
Yeah. So you can migrate from your spotting scope.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can run your Arca Swiss and put your
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
where that would come in handy, and let's face it, we're getting more and more influencers out there, and they're doing their own filming, and they've got the normal camera tripods.
tripod,
There you go.
Yeah.
Back it up.
So it's just a choice. What we're doing is we're not trying to conquer the world. We'd like to conquer the world, but there's a lot of good tripods out there.
I'd go for world
yeah.
conquering.
Yeah.
Do it.
Smash it. Yeah.
Smash it. Don't say you don't do that.
But it's basically we're trying to make sure we're not an arrogant company, and we listen to what people tell us, and basically try and make sure we achieve those goals.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's an impressive range of products when you walk us through with your vibrancy, your passion for the product.
Yeah.
It really shows through on camera. You can see the comments, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people watch this and play it back in the next few days 2 or 3 times to really suck this information up.
You know what I reckon you need to do, Shreggy? Go over to Digital Emily, and I want you to start to...
I've got one question before.
Somebody said I forgot to. I didn't. I have a bottle opener. I just haven't shown you. So
where is it? Look out!
Yeah.
Good on you, Josh.
What haven't we done? No.
Where is it?
So those little hooks that you were looking at there.
Yes.
That's basically.
Oh, it's two.
That's to stabilise because the tripods are so light.
Like
You can hang a pack on it, but you can also open your bottle with that. Yeah.
There you go, Josh.
Yeah. Go on, keep hitting us with those
Okay,
questions.
Josh.
I've got one very
Sorry,
good question.
second. I like the fact, Josh, you've gone in hard. All right, you thought he won't have one of these, and he's just thrown it.
We're just in a steak knives with it.
I've done that.
So my question is, it'll be very much how an Australian hunter will be thinking. He's thinking, wow, I really like this. I'm going to go in a shop and see it. If I can only afford to buy one thing from the Spartan range, and I can get out there shooting, and it can be very versatile, but I can only got enough money for one thing, what would be the system you would buy?
There's 2 answers to that.
Wow.
Depending on whether you're doing a lot of prone work or off the bonnet of a truck, or you're using a tripod. I would say the Javelin Light.
Yeah.
I love this tool because I can upgrade it later.
Sure.
It's a brilliant little. It puts the amount of reviews. I said, I had that tripod in my pocket. I shot this, and it puts a smile on your face because do you know what? You're gonna. Oh, it's there. Doof, gone. The other answer is the Davros, wherever it's gone,
Davros, yeah.
because they're such.
on the adapter.
They're such useful little tools. So if I was going to get into the system, it would be that or that.
Okay.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And both of those are, you know,
They're pretty affordable products.
They're the affordable
right?
products.
But you're not limited with them. Even if you came and got a tripod later, you're going to have a whole multitude of uses, you know, with this unit and this, and as I say, you can add legs.
So a
Yeah, and that's
Davros
the thing.
and or a
And it's that
Javelin
simple.
light.
Yeah, and I would actually say if you're going to put the standing legs in, these Javelin lights are probably easier to use
Okay.
because the lock is redundant for a standing
Yeah,
system,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yep.
You can do it, but the Javelin light, you've got those long posts. If I'm an out-and-out mountain hunter and I just want the bipod, that's the way to go.
Okay.
If I want the versatility, if I was a farmer,
And this is the entry level.
Yep.
that's the entry level.
Yep.
Yeah.
This Davros head, I think we might do some night TV on that. I think.
Well, mate,
that-
I make the call on NIOA TV and I'll decide, but yes, we probably will.
But stick that on there, and we've even got, so
Just let you know who you're dealing with, all right?
some of your lads were asking about that and they wanted a lift. Well, we've got on the Ascent tripod that you don't have here, in the middle is a lift column. You know, like you've
Yep.
got a conventional
Yep.
tripod. So if you want a bit of height, you just undo it. Inside that lift column is a little toolbox.
There is too, yeah. Where you put,
and it's
I remember
screwdriver
you talking
kit.
about that, yeah.
Well, that little lift column will screw straight on there, so you can have a nice handle.
so you can get another 4
Yeah,
inches of
yeah,
height
yeah,
off
yeah.
that.
Mate,
Yeah.
this
Wow.
stuff, it slices,
Wow.
it dices,
Well,
it juliennes,
yeah.
it does
Excuse
everything.
me, gentlemen. I'm going to go have a look at our questions
Yeah,
and make some decisions.
Yeah,
Is that
you go,
okay?
you go and do that, Trick.
I'll be back.
We want to have a chat with Mr. G. So we've got a couple more questions coming in. He says, can you guys make an adapter for a light or something similar? Or is that something you
Yeah, no, you can, and you can use them on lights. So that will go on a light, depending if the light's got because there's 2 threads on there.
Yep.
We've got both of them are the standard camera threads.
Yep.
So as long as the light or the rangefinder or whatever's got that thread, you're good to go. We also do. He's a good question
Yeah,
on that. He's
yeah.
coming out with them, and I haven't got it here. Is a light duty optics adapter, which is like this size,
Yeah.
with a little grub screw on the side. Will
Yep.
screw into anything, and you just pinch it on.
Okay.
So it's the quick and dirty.
Yeah.
But if you've got a GoPro camera or light, you can use the Javelin light.
With that as
the
well.
light duty. So yeah, we've got an answer.
So Jiffyson is asking, will you make ACC pack or just separate? I'm just trying to think what you're trying to say there, Jiffy. Like, do they all come as a pack or are they like separate? I'm not 100% sure, Jiffyson. You might have to just explain yourself a bit more. And yes, I think they do only come in black.
They are coming. Everything comes in black now. Yeah.
So, yeah. And obviously legs, boots, all that stuff.
Oh, if you need spares,
Sold
just-
separately, and we can get all that organised as well.
Yeah, and you will lose bits like that. We even have so for the adapters, there's like a snow plug.
Yep.
You're not likely to need them in this environment, but maybe for sand and grit and crap, you put them in. And I haven't got one here, but to remove them, because I've had people drilling them out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, just use the magnet on the bipod, pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
And the adapter, the plug, lives on the side of the bipod body.
Okay.
Or you can stick it on the side of the rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're on it.
Mate, I think, yeah. Listen, I've got a pretty important question now to ask you, and I think, again, it's probably a little bit controversial, but it needs to be brought up. How do you think Jason went today?
I'm not so
Out,
sure.
I mean, out of 10.
yeah,
What would you give
we'll
him?
give him 7.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's what about the studio audience? What do you reckon?
Look, I think he'd be very happy with that. It's the best-
Sorry.
Have we got a winner yet?
Oh, we will in a moment.
Oh, for goodness sake, you give him one job, right? One job. Find a winner. All right. But I tell you what, this is great.
Good question from Matt. Can you mount the rifle on a single stick? Yes, you can, Matt. I'm not saying I would do it, but look, just to prove a point.
There you go.
Now, I'm not in love with single sticks because you can you can come off your horizon easy and blah, 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 but yes, it's doable. Yeah.
Definitely doable. Well, there you are, folks. This is the Spartan Precision Equipment range of bipods, tripods, and adapters. And I tell you what, we're so lucky to be on the ground floor with this, Mr. G, because it's taking the world by storm, well, especially the UK and the US at this point in time. Not just in the sporting markets, but also in the military markets. Keep asking your questions until. Yeah, have we got a winner yet, Jason?
We have a winner.
Come on, mate. I'm trying to wind this up.
crowd goes mad.
Right, who
Now,
we got?
I've picked a winner.
Yep.
And we have got a couple of other questions I want to get to before we go.
All right.
So, Jason, so to all the people who didn't win, it's your fault, is that right?
Correct,
Right?
yes.
Right.
All right,
Please-
so this
please-
is a...
Send your complaints to Matt Williamson at nine.com.au.
trust me, I'll put them on. Don't you worry about that.
I've got a suggestion. I mean, I'm sure the Queen won't have me executed if I say we could give them a Davros as well.
Wow.
I mean,
Whoa.
second-
Well, here we go.
He's
It's
got-
Australian.
yeah.
The
He's
prize is
going crazy.
everywhere.
He's going crazy.
I'm sure the Queen will be happy if we,
Look out.
if we do a second winner, because I'd
Okay.
hate that
Okay.
poor old one guy's won.
Sure.
All right, so the first prize will be...
Jim, that we can't pronounce his surname.
I'm going to say bolognese.
That sounds good. He'll know, won't he?
He'll know.
know.
Jim,
Yeah.
if you can DM us,
Yeah.
please
Don't-
don't put it in the post.
No, don't put your details in the post because,
DM your address and so forth, and we'll send you
Trying to
one.
steal your bipod.
We'll send you the prize number one,
which is this.
the Pro Hunt iPod. Thank you.
Well done, Jim.
Well done, Jim.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Well done. But look what I've got here, the Davros head.
So we'll do that because people, if they've got a Primus trigger stick or another tripod, it's going to go straight on.
Mr. G has just had a blood rush and he's
God.
just giving stuff away. It's unbelievable. Okay, so we've got the Davros head here now. Now, Jason, please don't take as long as you did last time.
No, we won't. Drum roll.
A drum roll.
Here we go.
Drum roll. Have a drum roll. It's a long one.
Yeah, come on, Shrekky.
Big time.
Now, Josh,
Pedivoli.
Josh, you're the winner of the Davros head. Thank you for your
Well done,
question.
Josh.
Well done, Josh. Well done.
Josh asked the question about what warranty
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
product
that's
has,
good.
which is a good
Good
So,
question.
Josh, same thing again on our Facebook or Insta, whichever one you're on. Send us your details and we will send you one of these out in the post. And I'll tell you what else we're going to send you, mate. We're going to send you, hot off the press, the 2022-23 NIOA Hot Products Catalogue. And Jim, we'll send that to you as well. And did we end up getting Spartan in here?
Oh, you
Oh,
did.
yeah, we certainly did.
Yeah, yeah.
We certainly did.
Of course we did.
And Jason would know exactly what page it is.
It's the first pages of the accessory section. It's the first 12 pages.
Nice recovery.
12
Nice
pages. Look at that.
recovery.
You.
We're going to have a look
Yeah.
here. We're going to have a look.
We've got a couple of questions here from Laughing Stevens. Do we do different feet options for the systems?
There are different feet options, yeah. That's a good question, actually. There are a series of little washers that will go on the bottom. I'm not sure if you guys have seen those yet.
no, I
but
haven't
we
seen
can
them.
get those sorted. Very simple, because you just remove the lower unit and then put the washer in
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're good to go.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also, that will come out, like these rubber golf balls, about the size of your testicle. Yeah.
Hang on. So, now, hang on.
I'm wondering how you
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
I've got questions. I have questions.
We were in
One,
cubicle one together earlier. I'm not sure if that had anything
Most
to do with
impressive. But the rubber balls
Okay.
are literally, if you're shooting off concrete,
yeah.
and nobody, I mean, it's stupidly simple. Why wouldn't you? So you put these rubber balls on the bottom,
it. So they grip
you're
the-
bouncing off the testicles, and it just swallows up that shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be. I don't want to. You know, you've obviously got a very good marketing department, but let's not call them the Shrek.
No,
Okay.
no.
The Shrek boot.
I don't even know if we've got a name for them yet, but they work.
Yeah.
But we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
And we got another question here from Barry Wooten again. Are the adapters available now? And I can tell you that we started shipping many of the adapters that we have to our dealer network this week.
Yep.
We
They're out
had
there,
several hundred of bits and pieces. Now, I know we're already in back order on some products. However, we have had them and they're out to the dealer network as we speak. So see your local dealer.
Awesome.
But just to back up, these guys are fitting these, and they've already fitted. You've got a guy going out to Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's fitted 2 of those in one of your rifles, one in the back, one in the front, and they did an epic job. I even posted it on the gram.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Check on
Yeah.
Spartan.
We have lots of the gunsmith
Facebook.
adapters.
Yeah.
I think we've got 50 or 60 of those sitting in the warehouse. Bushy's done the good
Yeah.
job on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, team. Well, listen, I tell you what, Mr. G, first of all, thank you so much for your time
Absolute
today. Because I know
pleasure.
you're a busy man. You're off hunting, you're off climbing hills, you got lots of things, you're all overseas. And, mate, for you to come and spend the time with us, we've absolutely loved having you here.
Yeah, really have.
And I tell you what, you're welcome back anytime.
Well, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much.
Anytime,
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr.
Yeah.
G.
Now, listen, We're going to get those prizes to you guys. That's probably going to be the live stream for this month because we're drastically running out of days in this month. But I tell you what, thank you for your comments. We appreciate you guys dialing in. We know this is going to be a really popular episode. Probably over the weekend, we're going to get a fair few views of this. And don't forget, you can catch us next time on NIOA TV live stream. We'll catch you then. Thanks.